Behind me here is a grapevine that has refused to bloom for years. The owner of this property said it's been here for a long time and hasn't set any grapes. Well, I know one problem with it, and that is it hasn't been pruned. And grapes love pruning. There's another problem probably. This is the tropics. This isn't actually the best place to grow most grapes, and this variety may simply not be adjusted to the tropics. But one of those two problems I can fix. I can prune it. Another problem may be it needs some nutrition. I don't know though, because too much nitrogen could make it decide not to bloom and to just put on growth. But the dormancy cycle of grapes tends to run through the winter, and this is sort of the winter in the tropics, and this thing should be bursting into new growth soon. So what I'm just going to do is go ahead and cut it back severely, and then I'm going to mulch around the base of it, and we'll let that mulch feed it. We'll just kind of let it compost in place, and hopefully we'll get some blooms. As you can probably see here, this goes wrapping around through here, and then it comes back around over the top, comes down to the ground, and it turns into this big mess here. It's not really the best way to grow grapes, but this was just sort of a little homestead grape. You know, put the grape on the fence and see if it makes some grapes. It doesn't need to be all wrapped around like this. It really just needs a single leader that goes up to the top, and then we'll send it both ways. So what I'm going to do is cut it over here and then just send that straight up and take all this extra vine off, and we'll just see if it turns around and does a good job. Don't be afraid that you're going to kill a grapevine by pruning it. I took off probably 20 feet of grapevine. It will not kill it. As a matter of fact, grapes love it. People will cut back 90% of their grapevine sometimes, and it just encourages them to grow more. I'm going to have to put something here to kind of hold this up, and I think what I want to do is take down some of these banana leaves and other things that are shading this area and see if we can get a little more sunlight to this, and then we are going to mulch the ground around it, and we'll see what happens from there. Yeah, let's do that. These banana leaves will be kind of like a natural weed block, and they should keep the weeds suppressed here. We've also got chunks of banana stem, which I'll put here to rot. These here are a nitrogen fixing tree which has invaded this area, and normally it's kept really cut low to the ground. Well, I don't like to let things get cut really low to the ground regularly. I would rather let it grow really tall and then cut it back and use it for mulch, particularly these nitrogen fixing trees, which often have nitrogen rich leaves. So these trees here I look at as a source of compost and soil fertility. So I let them grow, you know, 8 or 10 foot tall and then cut them back. I'm sure my landlord thinks I'm kind of crazy to let them grow, but there is a reason for it. It's not just because I'm lazy, in case you're watching this. Sorry. These guys here are very hardwood. We use the leaves to feed this as mulch and fertilizer. Another thing, the time of year that you do this chop and drop mulching thing is important. This is the rainy season, just rained this morning, ground is wet, and that is the time to drop mulch. You want to drop it when the ground is wet, as either Jeff Lawton or Bill Mollison said. I'm not sure which one it was that came up with the idea originally or observed the idea and mentioned it. When precipitation exceeds evaporation, that's the time to drop your mulch. I love having these hardwood stakes. These are useful for all kinds of things. Another reason to let these things grow for a while, so you can use them later. I've got a little bit of paracord here. I love paracord. really great stuff. Military rope, holds 500 pounds, and you can use it for almost anything. Used it for clotheslines, used it for building tree forts, used it for tying dogs up, goats, whatever. My children use it for swings up in the trees, and it's a real fine cord, but it's very strong. And I'm not tying it very tightly. I just want it to kind of sit there. And then when the vines come out, we're going to take care of it and make it look really good. So there we go. I will keep you apprised on the progress of this, and I'll show you what this mulch looks like when it rots down a bit. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. If you have any suggestions on getting grapes to bloom in the tropics, please let me know. I'm probably going to try and give this thing some micronutrients too, maybe throw some compost tea on it. We'll see. But there's a lot of nutrients in the soil here. I'm just afraid of it going too far on the nitrogen side right now. But I'll keep you apprised. Catch me on the web at thesurvivalgardener.com, and until next time, may your thumbs always be green.
Gotta get some fruit. Grapefruit. Why don't you bloom, little punk? I hope you awake. We'd like it a whole bunch if we had a bunch of grapes. If you got time to bear some fruit on that vine, I'll be thankful forever, and we'll all feel fine. Now the thing is that first, I'll cut off more than 2/3 of your rambling vines in the fence intertwined to encourage your shoots to go straight for the sky. I'm not cruel, my dear grape, I just know what you like. Gotta cut back cause you're being too slack. Laziness you're blaming on life in the tropics. We're done with that, stop it. Prune up but don't shoot, make some fruit. Do it now or next time I'll cut you all down.